shoes, like Huaraches and stuff, you know. But like, you know, now I got used to my hair being so goddamn short. You know, it's terrible. You know, because I got these spikes, I got these zesty like mother, like zap doers. You know, these little freaking like mites. You know, I have mites. You know, I have mites. When you smoke meth, you know, you happen to catch this contact dermatitis that they call meth mites.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes they'll burrow in your skin, or they collect in your pores.
Got it.
And that's why it's very important to constantly shower throughout the day.
Okay.
You know, or wipe your face. You know, constantly wash your hands. You know, fucking like put remedies on your face. You know, make sure like you freaking, you know, like you just enhance it, or you know, you uplift your skin, hydrate. Yep. And you know, but I like that duo. You know, like I was saying, like being in jail. Yeah, it's freaking their versions of the Bible, or like, you know, of like guidance, you know, and like just like viewpoints and outlooks of like, you know, like steps and orders of ways to a better living. You know, they had a blue book, you know, and it was a hardcover page, royal blue, like 6x2 or 2x6, you know, like booklet, like literally that thick, big, you know. And so, and lately, you know, we're in the nowadays 2025, freaking July, right? Yeah, man. Okay. Oh my gosh. Pause. You know, if you like juice, you know, freaking Langers, you know, anything like from fruit punch, pineapple, you know, grape. But you know, the best thing ever, like exquisite taste, is the Ruby Red. If you go to the main stores, you know, the actual outlet, you know, like the actual brand, you know, because they have the little corner stores, yes. But if you go to like the main local store at like the main plaza type shit, that's where they have like the more like distinctive like brands or like flavors and stuff. And that's how you find what you're looking for on anything, really. And then, when it comes to stores and going to the plazas and stuff, shopping. That's stupid. You know, but anyway, there's that. You know, I like Ruby. But that's grapefruit juice. I love grapefruit juice. Yeah, it's the best. You know, but anyway, that's what I was saying. You know, the booklet. You know, the people really like real. There is a real testimony, and you know, verse 1 or new Christ James or whatever. You know, Bibles out there, yes. You know, and there are originals. You know, they like literal like freaking like of year such and such and such. You know, and Arizona is a small place. It's not a small place, but it's only so much. And you know, we're blessed to have our nanas and our tatas still to this day. And not many of us read damn Bible, right? Or go to church, but you know, we're still living in our grandma's house or our mom's house, you know, in the neighborhood or something. And what the hell, in the Hutch or Entertainment Center, there it is, you know. And so, yeah, somebody had the idea to smoke the thing. You know, they had the idea to burn the Bible page by page, or freaking just rip it apart and then put it in a furnace, or who knows, or just discard it, or who knows what they did with it. You know, yes. You know, because my grandma, when I was like a preteen, you know, she freaking, there's this, somewhere, there's this, I don't know if it's still there, but it's called the Yarn Barn. Right there on like the 43rd and Camelback in the neighborhood. You know, and it's, I don't know, the title says Yarn Barn. Who knows what's in it though? You know, but like, that's where she purchased me it's called a girls worship, like guidebook, like leadership academy, something like that, like Bible. And it was a leather one. Funny way. I don't know. Anyway, I got a fart. Anyway, you know, and it was a teal like custom made leather book, you know, and you know, like if you go into like a Five Below, a Nordstorm, you go on the outskirts to the tender like freaking like outlets and stuff in the malls, you know, marketplaces. You know, they have like little book shops and stuff, and that's where you can find the genuine like Bibles and stuff. You know, and they're not real, you know, about which one's which, you know, what was first or what word is exact, you know, there's no such thing, never, you know, but every time you reread the verse, you know, you get a different outlook, you know, so therefore summarize, and you know, the best way to vision what is true or what is not, you know, you just go with the flow, like, non-stop, you never let go, but at the very moment you see the one stick out, that's the first one, you know, yeah, oh my God, check me not, I'm saying, well, but that's how you do it, you know what I mean, and that's just, you know, an easier way of living. Honestly, you would feel much more relief, and you feel more certain with yourself when it is you live like that. Oh my God, why is this even right? What? No. But just roll with the punches. I'm just happy, because I was sitting at the bus stop with friends and stuff, just my fellow peers who fucking be not lingering, but who tread and waltz the freaking the yard, the concrete, the walk and the tiles, the floor, all amongst, but they found their little fucking feng shui, freaking, like comfort and appeal and like somewhat of a sink to a freaking position and like a comfortable feel and availability to fucking be at rest and home and whatnot. But myself, no. Because, I don't know. It's still not my placement. I don't have family to stay here on the east side. I'm from central South Phoenix. And we got neighbors. We got neighbors, but they're freaking, everybody minds their business, and and they're already their own families, their kids are growing up and stuff. Birthday parties aren't so often. Mom only cooks food like 3 times a week. You're fucking, you can't sleep at night, who knows what, it's very stupid, fucking you're getting tired of your phone, you didn't get enough sex or whatever, you don't see your friends, your dog is like ignoring you, what, I don't know. Whatever, man. But it's just life, But see, I don't have a life like that, where I can just freely walk outside in the evening and see somebody watering the grass and I know them and just be like, hey, hello, and have a conversation, you can still stumble upon that here in the neighborhood, like on this area. Like in my neighborhood, I would probably come into that, and then then boom, it's a new relation, say hi, hello, and it's welcoming, what goes from there. But no, but my stomping grounds more so are to be right here in this area, Central South Phoenix, or just Central Van Buren. And and we're all within, and they're my same age category. I got itchy on my butt. They're all my same age category, but they freaking, we're all freaking stuck up. We're all stuck up, and we're all like wanting to be selfish, not necessarily, but like, oh my God, mine is mine, because we're of a certain like new like 2000s era, and we want to be the number one, but yes we can, but see, like and right now we're having a predicament with like sibling rivalry or hunger or like favoritism, or just being, amongst, our fellow family members or more, fucking are the higher side of the table with our tias or our tata, grandpa or whatnot, getting that okay or that welcome from them, being able to be content in their personal space or us, them, without feeling like evil or contradicted or anything of that sort. Oh, what you got in there? No, and I see, walking world, anyway, funny,
What happened? So you're burned the back of your neck?
I've been had this for freaking like, what the hell? I had my chain on like fucking days ago, right? So I had 2 chains on, right? And there's certain metals, and the little grains, the little hooks, the little hooks, they're all like, yep. And I put on some chemicals, and it just was like I just poured it on me, and the little pesticide was stuck in the little chains and the shackles of the necklace, and like an invisible, like I don't know, like soap getting stuck, like in your like I don't know, like soap just getting stuck in like the yarn and stuff, in the blankets, and like in the little breathable holes type shit, you just see like the shine of the rainbow, So, yep. And freaking, so out they came, and they were just zapping my throat, my neck lineage, and freaking, I got a sting. It's terrible.
You also have 2 hickeys on your neck.
No, I don't.
No. Hickeys.
That's terrible.
What happened?
Oh my God, I got another hickey. No, I don't got another. No, that's not true. Okay, that is horrible, huh? Oh, it's terrible. Whatever pesticide on me. So now that one's like evolving, because I had the one on my leg and like my hip bone and stuff. Those were like snake skin and like gator stuff, This is like a new clump, I don't know exactly what.
You have a little wristband from the hospital visit.
Yeah, I haven't taken it off, you know.
When was that?
That was like 3 days ago, 2.5 days ago. You know, it's because I haven't gone, I leave it on because sometimes I haven't gone to the doctor to get me my what they do there, bro? What's wrong, pal? No. Yeah, what the fuck was it? Because I haven't got my ID yet, you know, fucking $12 right before I gotta start bright and early, you know, fucking I gotta, for however the fuck my day the before ends type shit, you know, I gotta be able to end at least with $10, you know, $10 type shit, so therefore I can start my next day, you know, however, or, you know, with, like, so therefore I can get me drink, which is water, you know, and then $5 for the bus, you know, there and back, and then the remainder, you know, however I go to my next destination to freaking win some money, you know, so I can continue in the world, you know, so yeah, man, whatever, like $3 away gets me to the 12, you know, or to the 10, you know, however, or yes.
Was the Hickey guy, was that a guy that picked you up?
You know, I don't know, likely, you know, I don't remember that, you know, what the fuck was that? Oh wait, no, who was it? Oh yeah, hey, what's up? Oh my goodness, I can't even think. I feel like let me see what. I'm trying to fucking think, man. Where the fuck was I?
What up,
Ariel? Hiya, you fine? You
okay?
Yeah, man, I'm fucking tweaking, man. Yeah, I'm probably have an interview with. I'm not sure your name, family. What's your name? Art. Yeah, Art. Hey, good to see you. You know, I'm gonna be back right there, freaking at the bus stop after this in a moment. You know, like right there by the freaking public health. No, otherwhere, but with my friends. But anyway, he's a cool fella. He's last I seen him, he was in the ice and got his back, man. I miss that. He looked good, way. You know, he's just a home dog. You know, but I've been around that pond or pool, you know, see I like you too, you know. But fucking, you know, just our entities are two strong values, you know, and that they can't cooperate. But it takes a lot of freaking, like, you know, like try, might, whatever, you know, and then just, you know, so still, like, freaking, you know, just as we are and in the world and acceptance, you know, it's a lot to battle.
Ariel.
You're not bad now. But, you know, you gotta find one that's more so, like, not like anything, you know, of an upbeat level type, you know, it's just, like, simply, like, literally, like, you know, like, no feelings type. So, therefore, you know, you could be.
Ariel,
So,
that makes sense, okay?
Yeah.
So,
but, you know, I don't know, but you know what makes sense?
what you just said makes total sense to me. So,
you know, I don't know. I'm not saying you're not bad. No? I like you. I get along with everybody.
Do you?
You know, but I do. I get along with everybody. You know,
what about the guy with the hickey that gave you the hickeys? What about?
I don't know who gave me the hickey, bro. Who the fuck gave me? Oh no, I don't like the guy with the hickey.
No.
You know, I like the guy with the hickey, you know. But you know what? But I like him when he was my original, like one of my masters from from my bloodline. You know, like
a master from your bloodline.
Not my master, but like because he has resemblance like my Theo.
Oh, okay.
You know, because he had the structure features of my Theo, but you know that just means type.
Yeah.
You know, the people out here, you know, there's real life cannibalism out there. You know, people are really like eating each other. You know, you gotta know how to really butcher an animal. You know, or like you know, or you know,
yeah.
You know, a type of ordeal to even consume it.
Okay.
You know, and even you are to consume it, you gotta know how to cook it.
Yeah.
You know, and how to sanitize, bleach it, season it, all of that.
Okay. So I'm gonna go get you some food. Please stay safe. God bless, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you, Art.